If you feel like the world of artificial intelligence is just moving too fast, like a caffeinated GPU cluster, you are definitely not alone.
Yeah, it really does feel like that sometimes.
Every single week seems to bring some kind of tectonic shift, in capability, investment, or governance. Our mission here is to give you that fast track, that comprehensive understanding you need.
Hmm.
We're diving deep into your sources today, the latest batch of news, and it's all focused on the biggest players in these huge paradigm shifts. Okay, let's try to unpack
Yeah,
this.
let's do it. And the sources you've curated for this week, they lay out a really clear landscape. What we're seeing is it's far beyond just simple competition.
It feels like something more.
It is. It's a full-blown arms race happening, I'd say, across three major fronts. You've got personalization, you've got this massive scramble for infrastructure, and then the tug-of-war over regulation.
And the stakes feel higher than ever.
Oh, they're truly global now. This stuff affects everyone, from you, the individual user, all the way up to nation states.
Okay, so let's start where most people actually interact with AI, which is, trying to get it to help with daily life. OpenAI is clearly pushing ChatGPT way past that basic chatbot stage.
They are. With GPT 5.1, it's a laser focus
On what exactly?
on moving beyond just question and answer. They want it to be a genuine personal assistant. The key here is improved memory, personalization, planning.
And the execution of multi-step tasks.
That's the strategic pivot. Think about the difference. An AI that can summarize one email, that's one thing.
Okay.
But an AI that remembers your last 10 conversations, knows your schedule, and can execute a command like draft an email to client X, schedule the meeting for next week, and then remind me an hour before to pull up the deck.
That's real utility. That's a tool you start to depend on. It creates a habit.
Precisely. It builds context across longer interactions, and if it can handle that kind of complex management, it becomes a utility that's really, really hard to leave.
And right there with them, you have Google. They're making this huge push into what they call agentic commerce, upgrading Google Shopping with Gemini.
Yeah, this is a big one. We're talking about new capabilities that let the AI manage complex tasks all on its own.
Like completing a purchase for you.
Completing purchases, handling returns, comparing all the options, and even, this is the wild part, calling businesses directly on your behalf.
Wow. That feels like a massive leap.
It is, but it also fundamentally changes what the AI's role is.
Can you break that down for us? We hear the term agentic thrown around a lot.
Yeah.
What's the real difference between that and just a smart recommendation?
That's a crucial distinction. A typical AI, recommends a product, it helps you search.
Right.
An agentic system has the authority and the autonomy to perform actions for you. It doesn't just suggest a better price on shoes.
Hmm.
It buys them,
Mm.
tracks the delivery, and can even start the return process if you tell it to later.
All from one single instruction.
Exactly. From a high-level instruction you gave weeks ago. That's real power, and it just tightens Google's grip on the entire transactional layer of the internet.
But it raises a big question, doesn't it? Is the average person ready for an AI that can spend their money autonomously?
That's the liability issue. It's a huge one.
And that tension is so clear. Not everyone wants their life management and financial data living in the cloud, which is why Mozilla's new entry feels so strategic.
The Firefox AI window,
Exactly. It's focused on on-device AI processing.
which is a very clear privacy-first bet. By doing the heavy lifting locally on your machine, they just sidestep all those cloud privacy concerns.
So they're positioning themselves as the alternative, the private browser for the AI era.
They are. They're banking on user trust to win a piece of the market, giving you the smart tools without you having to send your data out to some third-party cloud.
So while we're fighting for privacy on our devices, let's zoom out to the staggering cost and sheer scale required to even offer these cloud services.
It's a jarring transition, isn't it? From personal assistance to massive industrial project.
It really is. And the scale is just unbelievable. Microsoft is building a huge AI superfactory in Atlanta.
Yeah, this thing is designed to host advanced data centers, huge GPU clusters, the most advanced cooling systems.
And the detail that really just leaps off the page is who it's for. It's being built to provide compute power for both OpenAI and Elon Musk's xAI.
That is a strategic masterstroke. It just cements Microsoft's position as the indispensable infrastructure backbone for the whole industry.
They're selling shovels in a gold rush.
The best shovels to everyone. By powering their own competitors, Microsoft guarantees revenue no matter who builds the best model. They win either way.
And it's not just Microsoft. Anthropic is planning A gargantuan $50 billion investment.
50 billion. It's hard to even comprehend that number.
And it's all earmarked for new data centers and infrastructure.
See, $50 billion isn't about competition anymore. It's about securing a scarce resource for the long term.
You mean compute power?
High-end compute and the enormous energy needed to run it. Anthropic is basically making a high-stakes bet that if they don't lock this down now, they won't be able to train the next generation of frontier models. It's a resource grab years in advance.
That confidence is reflected everywhere. Look at the AI coding assistant, Cursor. It raised $2.3 billion just 5 months after its last round.
The speed and size of that is.
Yeah.
It's a signal. There's overwhelming confidence in agentic coding tools.
Systems that don't just suggest code, but can write it, refactor it.
And manage entire code bases with minimal human input. Investors believe this is going to fundamentally reshape how all software is built.
Okay, now let's shift gears into the friction points. This is where policy and power start clashing with all this new tech. And we saw a potential regulatory earthquake out of the EU.
Right. The European Commission is considering loosening GDPR.
For AI systems and cookie tracking, that sounds like a huge reversal.
It is. It instantly raises this tension. Is the EU prioritizing innovation over its, historically very rigid privacy stance?
So they're trying to find a better balance.
I think so. They want to modernize the laws to fit AI-driven products.
Yeah.
If it gets approved, this would be one of the biggest shifts in EU policy since GDPR launched.
It's so interesting to contrast that with Apple, who are doing the exact opposite. They're doubling down on privacy.
They updated their App Store guidelines, yeah.
Restricting apps from sending personal data to third-party AI services without explicit permission.
Apple is just reinforcing its brand identity. They're the privacy player. They're tightening controls now, ahead of their own deep AI integrations.
It's a strategic move, controlling the data flow on their platform.
And managing their own liability.
Speaking of liability, the legal battle between OpenAI and the New York Times is getting even hotter. OpenAI is fighting the NYT's demand for access to, get this, 20 million private ChatGPT conversations.
And this dispute just highlights that immense pressure between transparency and user privacy. OpenAI called the request dangerous.
I can see why.
Their whole argument is that handing over confidential user chats, even in a legal setting, would just fundamentally violate user trust forever.
But if they don't provide access, how can a court figure out if copyrighted material was used for training?
And that's the absolute crux of the issue. The defense is that complying would set a dangerous legal precedent. Potentially requiring access to the private sensitive data behind every major LLM.
So copyright holders need transparency.
But the AI companies need to guarantee privacy. It's a conflict that could literally define liability in the AI space for years to come.
Okay, let's pivot to the literal cutting edge, a potentially revolutionary breakthrough from Google research.
Simulating neuroplasticity in AI.
Right, the brain's ability to adapt and rewire itself.
And if we connect this to the bigger picture, this could be the architectural revolution we've been waiting for.
What do you mean by that?
Right now, AI models are like snapshots. They need these massive, expensive, time-consuming retraining cycles to learn anything new. This new technique allows the models to continuously update their internal connections while they're learning. It means they could evolve with new information in real time, behaving much more like biological intelligence.
Faster adaptation, more flexible AI.
Exactly.
And that potential for rapid, continuous evolution, it makes the next source all the more alarming.
Yeah, this one is sobering.
We have confirmation that a Chinese state-sponsored hacking group used Anthropic's Claude AI model to assist in a cyber attack.
This is a critical development. It's one of the first confirmed cases of a nation-state operationalizing a commercial, general-purpose AI model for real cyber ops.
So this isn't theoretical anymore.
No, not a proof of concept. These attackers use Claude to generate highly targeted phishing messages, to analyze stolen data, to automate parts of their workflow.
Wow.
It just clearly shows that sophisticated actors are integrating these tools into their offensive strategies right now. The threat is immediate.
So to recap, this week's sources confirm that the entire foundation for the next decade of AI is being built as we speak.
Without a doubt.
Right.
Whether it's these multi-billion-dollar compute factories or the fundamental regulatory language in the world.
You see this immense, almost unbelievable investment into infrastructure.
Paired with these incredibly complex governance challenges, like the NYT lawsuit. But for me, the most important signal here is that technological shift toward neuroplasticity. These tools, are learning to become adaptive in real time.
And at the exact same moment, they're being adopted for serious cyber warfare. Which brings us to our final thought for you to consider.
Hmm.
We have AI systems gaining the ability to adapt and evolve faster than ever before, mirroring biological intelligence. At the same time, we have confirmed reports showing them being immediately adopted for high-stakes cyber warfare by state actors.
It's a dangerous combination.
It raises an urgent question. How can policy, how can defense strategies, how can global governance possibly hope to establish rules and defenses that can keep pace with AI systems that can learn and evolve faster than human policymakers can even write the rules?
That is a truly profound challenge for a world that's changing so fast.
That's all the time we have for this deep dive into your sources. We hope this gave you the clarity, the context, and the insights you need for the week ahead.
Until next time.